Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Master Heart family. This is the beginning of the week that takes us to a whole new level of vibration and energy and feeling good and attracting to us the things that we want. And, it's just amazing. Last week was incredible that we come together. We come together with open hearts, and there's no judgment here. We've let the guards down, and no more guards in our heart. That we are open. Those chains and locks are off, and it's just to love each other, to help each other, to uplift each other, and so that's what we do every day. Hey, Jason, how are you, man? Good to see you. And so it's a great time to be alive, be in this world, an amazing world. It has everything we want and everything we don't want, and we get to ask for it and get whatever we ask for, whether we want it or not, we're going to get. And so we want to think more and more about the things that we want. So what's going on with you guys? What are some miracles? What are some challenges? Whatever that we'd love to hear. We start out in the beginning, and then you're going to love this whole session. It'll turn into a magical session, and we'll get into, and near the end, another meditation, which helps us to really go within the kingdom within us and to become one and walk with God and all that is. So what's going on? Hey, Carolyn.
Hello there.
Hello. So what is going on? Carolyn, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for all your messages you've been sending me. They do actually help an awful lot just to kind of start the day and be uplifting to keep the mind on the same thing. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to slow down my actions and get them more into inspired actions. And just wait for things to happen from there. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and if any of you, so this is for our whole family here, our spiritual family, that if you aren't doing this discipline in the morning, it's called the Joy Shot, and you can just text me or email me or whatever, and I'll send you that Joy Shot. Well, I've helped thousands of people around the world, and basically what it does is it's sharing what Carolyn was saying, is that, you start off with some fresh ideas of the way that you want it. And you think about what you appreciate, because whatever you appreciate, God's going to give you more of it. And then this is really where we become deliberate creators. We're all creators. We're the ones that do the asking. And we get the questions. The reason why we're doing the asking is because of the contrast in this world, the things that we don't like. So we brush up against the contrast. So a deal goes south, whatever, and an argument, or I feel bad about some thought. And then I say, that's simply what I don't want, and what do I want? And so from that asking comes then a way for us to, and the third thing is for us to really become deliberate creators, instead of getting life by default, that now we can start asking for what we want and getting it. And so it's the first thing in the morning. I recommend doing it, because otherwise you'll get tied up in the world. And so I love Carolyn on saying that, hey, I want to just slow down. Exactly. We each have our own unique pace, our own unique flow in life. And one of the easiest ways to get to that flow is through our breath. And biblically, the word breath, actually, the word spirit in the Bible means breath. And so for us to just breathe in deeply, in and out, and get into that flow. And, our Master Heart family, kind of the original group, if you will, we actually went through a process called Walk with God. And it was how to walk with God. And one of the things was that it's about our breath. And there's 3 different ways to breathe, if you will. And it's kind of funny. I've invested thousands of dollars on how to breathe. And, and people say to me, Dr. Hank, I thought you were a bright guy, but you got to have money. You're spending all this darn money on breathing. We all learn that, we were born, got hit on the butt or whatever and started breathing. But actually, there's a very deliberate way. And the best one, and we'll do a little bit later, is this idea about breathing in 5 seconds. And do that with me. Breathe in. And then breathe out. And just say to yourself, relax. And you only need to do that about 6 breaths like that. And you can do that while, we're talking here. And you'll be in the flow. And then you don't have to be doing, like Carolyn was saying, I've been doing. And when you do that, you get do. And so we don't want that in our and we talked last week about, some people will be knocking on our door, our children, or parents, or whoever, whatever, and they try to make us do stuff, if you will, or feel guilty or whatever. And know this, that no person, no circumstance, no event can impact you, can negatively impact you in your flow and your walk with God unless you allow it. You get to choose what you're going to let in, what thoughts you're going to accept, what feelings you want. And the feelings you want is to feel good, because that's where God is in joy. And that's why everything we actually want is just to feel joy, because that's where our higher power, where our creator is. So it's beautiful. So that's great, Carolyn. And I just love on how you're getting into the flow. And again, we've been taught you got to go out and manipulate the world. And let's all stop that because it's very tiring. And you'll get tired to where your dreams will start to erode. Have you ever felt that? Like, gee, I had dreams a few years ago, whatever, and I just kind of gave up on them. Well, we're going to fix our dream machines now. That you can be, do, and have any and everything that you want. With God, all things are possible. And it's all a matter of that, not running around doing. Because basically your committee is running the show then. And the only devil there is this what I call a committee, this drunken monkey that says silly things to us. I earlier was talking with someone, and we had come upon just an amazing idea that would take their business to the whole new level. And their committee came in and started thinking, oh, well, there's competition and I can't do that with this person, and put up all these barriers to their success. And the idea truly is a sound idea that will take their business to a whole new level easily and quickly. And but they caught themselves and they realized, oh, I'm thinking about this lack and limitation. So whenever you feel bad, whenever you're thinking about lack or limitation or like competition, which all makes you feel bad, okay, know that you're not thinking about this the way that God is. And so it's all a matter of, I'm going to start thinking, I just want to feel good. I'm going to start asking for better feeling thoughts. So that's beautiful, Carolyn. Who has more to share? What miracles are going on? Questions, comments, thoughts? Hey, Jason.
I have a little story. I don't know if you'd call it a miracle, but it involves the monkey mind, and a good reminder, I think, how things work when we get aligned. So This was just a few days ago, maybe 5 p.m. I started, I couldn't catch like the second half of my breath. It felt like my lungs just weren't working. I could take the first half and then I just couldn't get any more breath. And it was kind of concerning. It reminded me of about a year ago when I got sick, almost like a flu-like thing. And I was like, not right now. It's like, thinking about, I hate taking steroids or being sick for a week and out of commission. And then, so I go to bed, and the next morning I wake up, and in bed, it's the same thing. Just couldn't get the second half of my breath, and just really started getting down. And it's like, I don't want to go to the doctor and do all these things. And I was just kind of like put my foot down, and I was like, no, I don't want this right now. I was like, why? And so I sat down and just tried to relax as much as I could and calm. And I got my book out where I write or save the date type of thing.
Beautiful.
And I didn't even have the energy physically, but like to write stuff out.
Yeah.
But I just thought, like, I just wrote the word better. And I was like, that feels good. And so I wrote better again. And I started feeling a little bit better each time I wrote it. And I was like, I asked to be better. I know it's possible to be better.
Yeah.
And it's like I was getting more aligned with my true self. And that's where, like you teach, the inspiration comes in. And this one word came to mind: indigestion. It just popped into my head.
Yeah.
And so, like we always do, I Google indigestion, can't breathe. And it's like all the symptoms. It says, when you lay down, and that's reflux can go in and swell your esophagus, and it can lead to wheezing and hard to breathe. And I said, well, okay, I like that better than, having the flu. So I was like, I think I have some Tums. So I ate some Tums, and I sat up and I walked around and I did some stretching, bending backwards. And in like 10 minutes, I started burping. And then within an hour, I was completely deep breaths, as many as I wanted. And I was completely back to normal. And then I was just so happy and just so thankful. And then I just started, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's like, now I can have the day I wanted to. I can finish the week that I wanted to. I don't have to be sick.
Yeah.
And just, I want to share that as a reminder, because if I hadn't taken the time to sit down and relax and just try to balance back out, I could have gone with that, oh, I'm sick, I'm going to have to go to the doctor, and made myself sick.
Right.
And so, but I think just the inspiration of how that word indigestion just popped into my mind.
Yeah.
And then took care of itself. So
You got the answer. You got the answer. You said so many just amazing things there, Jason, that first of all, those first thoughts that are coming up, because we're the creator of our own experience. And so those first thoughts are, and this is why our past typically isn't our friend, because we think about the past on the nose, or I was sick, or, the argument or whatever. And then our committee takes over and goes, oh, yeah, you're going to be taking pills, you're going to be sick for all week, and you're creating it, and it's because we have this belief in our past experience as though that's the truth. And that just isn't the truth. The truth is what we're thinking right now, what we're praying, if you will, right now. And so you caught yourself. It was just amazing. You thought, like, what am I saying this nonsense for? This is simply what I don't want. And then the divine word that you found, I would have all of us write this down. I already wrote it down. It's this word better. My health is just getting better. I'm getting better. My business is getting better. The universe knows how to deliver better to you on everything. And when you get in a position, because that's where Jason was, he was in a position where, hey, I'm not going to let that drunken monkey start controlling us. I'm going to relax, sit down, like what Carolyn would say. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to do what I can. And writing it is a real good idea, but like you said, your committee had taken you had taken yourself as listening to the committee into this really bad, illness, but you were strong enough to at least write one word and getting better. And this is where the Father does the work. We don't have to figure out how to get better. All of a sudden, the thoughts will come to us. The thought, in this case, indigestion. And that led you from one step to the next step, to the Google, take the Tums, burp a little, and within an hour, than an hour. It's like miraculous. You know, I've helped people overcome MS, overcome cancer, and without chemo or anything. And in fact, I'm right now helping a lady that, you know, proclaimed she had cancer. Man, she, you know, owned that and no cancer. And that's a, you know, it's just a made up word the doctors make. You know, all of this stuff is just dis-ease, not disease. Okay, it's dis-ease. And we have the power to overcome any illness, to build any empire that we want. And so that's fantastic, Jason. Congratulations. And what a great testimonial. Really, you had everything. Literally, you literally went through the steps of life right there. We brush up against the contracts. The committee takes a hold of it and makes up stuff. We wake up and say, hey, no, what do I want? You know, what do I want? I want to be better. Okay. And then just breathe deeply and just allow it. And the thoughts will come, the people will come, the circumstances will come. But we have to believe that. And so, you know, like earlier I was sharing that we had this one answer, it was one person, and it was really the answer. But they started to disallow it. And they started to put exceptions on it and analyze and see where, you know, what they could do. And it's just the committee in there doing that. And you waited for the answer, the solution, got it, and that led you to health. So congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Other thoughts? What's some other good news going on? Or questions, comments?
Can I give you one more?
Okay, all right. Jason,
this
on
one's
a roll.
this one's kind of fun. Well, and I've been following Hank for years. He's taught me a lot of this stuff. We did a lot of one-on-one coaching. It works. But anyway, something I'm passionate about, I was born with, was, you know, I've always been a class clown, and my mouth gets me into trouble and out of trouble. So I've tried open mic stand-up comedy a few times here in Austin.
Oh, wow.
And I'm taking an open mic comedy class right now.
Awesome.
And one of our assignments, class is on Tuesday nights. We had to get up and tell one of our jokes in front of the class, and it's on the stage. You know, the lights are off, and the bright lights are on the stage, and nobody laughed at my joke. And I was just bummed out. And so on Wednesday mornings, I volunteer downtown at a homeless center. And I'm walking from the parking garage to the homeless center. For some reason, it pops up into my mind, and I'm just thinking, keep trying. You know, it may not be easy, but keep going, keep trying the stand-up thing.
Yeah.
So when I work with homeless people one-on-one, mainly helping them get IDs, we order birth certificates, state IDs, things like that.
Beautiful.
And I'm sitting down with a guy who's homeless. He's from Georgia, and he tells me that he moved to Austin to do comedy. And I'm like, really? Wow. I was like, so I'm telling him a little bit about what I, you know, delving into, and he's telling me all the places he does open mic, and he hosts an open mic show about 2 blocks from where this homeless center is.
Oh my God.
And he's telling me these other places to go, and he's homeless, and he's hosting comedy shows and doing open mics everywhere. And we just really hit it off and connected. And I told him, I was like, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. Like, I was just thinking on the way walking here, like, don't quit doing this. And then I meet you. Yeah. And it was just wild, and it gave me so much inspiration to keep going.
Oh my gosh, that's just fabulous. And again, there's so many things you're saying there that, you know, this contrast that we have when we're, you know, we don't get the laughs, if you will, we don't get the responses we want from other people. It's actually, look at it as God puts that there for us, so that we can build the energy so we can actually have the comedian we want to be, or the business we want to be, or the person we want to be. And so it's just incredible on how, yeah, Jason had this, you know, and that was keep going. You know, those were the magic words this time, is keep going. And so let's not give up. You know, that your dreams, and again, I'm back to this, these dreams are a lot of our dreams we've really given up on. and our dream machines are broken. And so today, let's each ask for, I want my dream machine to start functioning again. I want to start dreaming big again. We can't have anything in this life unless we ask for it. So I'd like us all just to think about, what dream have you really not been on? Or, and we've been talking recently about, are you going to play small or are you going to play big? And it's this idea about, let's play big. And so maybe you're kind of working on a dream, but you're not playing big on it. Or maybe you've just forsaken that dream altogether. But write down a dream, not whether or not you can achieve it, or don't judge it. That's the committee going in. When you start analyzing it, it's the committee. And so just think to yourself, what's one thing that you'd really like to be, do, or have? Just keep it that simple. What's one thing that you maybe forgot about, and just write that down. See, just by us being focused, this is why we're a spiritual family, helping each other. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And it's this idea about, wow, if Jason didn't give up on this idea, and who would have thought, and I know Jason, okay, if he would have said, hey, what do you think one of my dreams are, what I'd like to do, I would have never, ever stand-up comic, okay? And it's like, how cool is that? And in fact, right when Jason said, and I talked and nobody laughed, I went like, that's awesome. That's how my immediate response is in my life when something happens, according to my committee, that is something I don't like. That I know it's actually God saying, give me that energy, baby. I'm going to be the funniest man on earth. and Jason, and again, for all of us, but Archangel Gabriel is the angel of communication. And I had someone the other day who doesn't really he doesn't like the God word and rather use universe, and doesn't want to use angels, the word angels. And so I positioned it different. I said, okay, that's cool. Do you agree that the whole universe, everything is energy? And he said, absolutely. And I said, you believe that your mind, with your thoughts, that you can manage that energy that creates worlds that you can manage? He goes, sure. And I said, well, just imagine that there's an energy. And I asked them, do you agree that there's any and every type of energy? We can call forth the devil, if you will, but we don't want. Or so we can call forth, hey, I'm not funny. And there's that energy in the universe that will bring you not funny. And I don't get laughs, okay? But it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if they laughed last night or whatever. What matters is, who are you calling? Who are you going to call? And so in this case, my counsel would be, hey, let's call Archangel Gabriel in, the angel of communication. And then, hey, I want to be able to stand up and be funny as all get out. And so we call forth that energy. And like this one person that I was helping had, they wanted more confidence. And I said, great, you don't have to invite Archangel Michael or anybody. Why don't you just invite confidence, the energy confidence into your life? And the way to do that is simply to be thinking about, hey, I love the idea about me being confident. I love the idea of me being a funny stand-up comedian. I love the idea of my audiences getting me and just loving it. And the more you build that energy, because of those people that didn't laugh the other night, It built this energy and these thoughts into us today, thinking about, yeah, this is awesome. I just love it because we can be, do, and have anything we want. The only thing in our way, you know, we're told, get out of the way. Well, what's in the way? The committee. It's telling, oh, you know, you can't be a comedian at my age or whatever. You know, there's a million things that are out there, but there's billions of things out there on what you do. And we get to choose. And so let's choose to be a stand-up comedian, or like me, let's choose to be an artist, the best, top-selling artist now with our book, Journey to Paradise. I still don't have it, but I have, let's see, Marilyn is on today, and Marilyn actually shot me a picture of the book. She went and bought that book. And again, that book is available, and you know, it's a children's book, but we're all kids, right? We got that little girl, that little boy within us, and so it's a good, healthy book for all of us. And you meet Mr. Happy and the seven angels, and you get that, you know, beautiful, loving energy that comes in. And it's all God, it's all beautiful. So thank you so much, Jason. And congratulations for being, you know, just a top stand-up comedian now. I just love it, man. I just love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
I have a little example, Dr. Hank, of how the committee goes in. It's kind of a lighthearted thing, but I was talking with a friend about traveling, which, you know, there's lots of ways you can travel on budget. And they said, yeah, well, we just need to have a private, you know, have a private jet plane. And my immediate thought was, oh, no way, that would never be able to do that. And then I caught myself and went, why not? I charter a private jet plane. Yeah, that's my new dream now, is, you know, be able to do the travel in the style that I'd like to do it in, but never really allow that I would ever be able to do that.
Right. We don't even ask for that, you know, then we laugh and say, well, that can't be for me. And
well, that's what I caught myself. I caught myself saying, yeah, there's no way. And then I went, no, why not?
Yeah. There's all kinds of ways for you to get, you know, the funding, the opportunity, you know, and it's just not money. A lot of people think everything is the money, and that, you know, you could have a friend that calls you up and says, hey, you know, I got a job and you want to go to a wine together, you know, that there's all kinds of different things. I remember my first a jet that I had and that I was leasing, like you were saying, and this is when I had my own consulting company, and I remember taking off in this jet. I'm the only passenger, you know, just me and the pilot, and taking off. It was at night, and we went through the clouds, and I was listening to Conversations with God. And you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful book about. It's a great one. It's exactly what we've been talking about. There's this contrast, and like there's this guy Neil Diamond Walsh is his name, like Neil Walsh, I think is his name, and like, you know, he loses his job and things are just awful, and then he comes home one day, you know, where his wife and children normally are, and he goes, oh my God, we've been robbed. All the furniture is gone. You know, he goes into the bed, everything is gone. And he goes into his closet and all of his clothes are there. Well, what happened? His wife left him with his kids and took all the furniture, and she didn't need, you know, his clothes. So he got pissed off at God. And he said, hey, if you're really, there is a God, show up, you know, show me where you are. I mean, my life is just miserable. And that's where, because he was so intent and wanted to have that discussion, that he ended up having conversation with God. Anyways, I'm on my jet, go through the clouds, listen to Conversation with God, and I look up and there's this big, beautiful moon there, and it's just like whizzing along, like who would imagine, you know? And this is what life is about. If you can see it, you can have it. If you can imagine it, you can have it. And just be easy with yourself. And the best way, and I would write down, the best way to be easy with yourself is, I love the idea of, and fill in the blank. I love the idea of going on vacation in my own private jet. Okay. I love the idea of building my business to where I'm independently wealthy. And, I love the idea of being healthier because you do love the idea. And by you thinking, loving the idea, you're calling in that energy and it'll bring it to you. The only thing stopping it from literally that jet coming right there, that business, that health, whatever it is, the only thing in the way, there's nobody conspiring against you in all the universe. The only thing in your way is you disallowing it with your thoughts. Oh, that can't be for me. Why the hell not? And today when I took my walk, there were 7 jets flying around up in the air. There's lots of jets. And we can have it all. Beautiful. Thank you. Other thoughts?
Dr. Hank, when I started practice, you want to build your practice up. And I decided that I was going to do spinal rehabilitation classes for patients and have them bring someone with them so that I could show them specific exercises, whatever.
That's great.
And I said, no matter whether there's one person there or 30 people there, I'm still going to do the class.
Yep.
My first class, no one showed up. You know what I did? I still did the class.
There you go.
This is the beginning of the best thing that's going to ever happen to me. The next class, I was full.
Wow.
So never, never, never give up.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Keep going. Man, Dr. K, that's just fantastic and how inspiring. And I think,
And to tell you this, that was 50 years ago.
wow, when you were 3.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, that is just fantastic. What a great story. Yeah. See, because you didn't look at what was in front of you. Okay, we've been taught that this is reality, what's in front of us. And reality is created and proven by science on what we're thinking and how we're feeling. And so I'm just going to keep on. And I would even kind of, if we say, I'm not going to give up is there. And so what's a better word? What is it that we want?
Move forward.
Yeah, then I'm going to move forward. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to keep going. And yeah, keep going. And Jason used that. I'm just going to keep on going. We can do this. We got everything backing us and supporting us and guiding us to everything we want. God and all that is.
Dr. Hank?
Yeah.
So when you said we just, write down what we want, feel
Yeah.
it, feel the emotion, and then allow it.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of like an aha moment for me. So I just want to confirm I'm thinking correct because I'm working on this right now.
Yeah.
So by allowing it is by looking at what I don't want and say, that's what I don't want, but this is what I do want. That's how we allow it.
Well, the allowing, so that spurs the question. The part that you just shared is the contrast, the thing that you didn't want, spurs the question. And it's all in the question. Even Elon Musk said something about it's all in the question that you're asking. And so the question, so let's say someone said, no, I'm not building my business. That's what I don't want. What do I want? I want to build my business now. I want more yeses now. I want to increase my income now. So those type of thoughts build the energy. Now, the part of allowing, which is step 4. So remember, we do the asking is the contrast. That thought turns to our emotions. That's the energy that's proven by science, that step 1 and step 2 is exactly the way science is. It's just science took God out of the equation and we put God where God belongs in it, is that we ask, do the prayer, which is the thinking, that creates this energy, our emotions. And that, though, goes to step 3. The scientists say that goes to matter then, and we create our experience this way. But actually, that signal goes to God, the universe, all that is. And God instantly receives our message and instantly answers our message. And so step 4, though, and then people ask me, well, where's the money? Where's the business? Where's the car in my garage? Where's the person in the bed next to me? Whatever that. And so where it is, it's in this energy form. And we need to do step 4. What you're referring to is allow it. So we'll use the business example. People said no, that created the first step for me to ask, this is what I want. I build my energy. I want to build my business. In step 4, the disallowing, you're supposed to allow in step 4, but if you disallow would be an example of the next call you're on, the person says no to you. And oh my God, I prayed and everything, and I got to know, instead of realizing, that goes into step 1. That actually is to help build me, because I'm asking for so much business and so many yeses. I needed that no in order to really get into it and really build that energy. And man, I just love building my business, and I love helping other people, and I love attracting people that want and pay for what I offer. It's just amazing. I love on how it just glides. It goes like a rocket up my business. That's what the contrast is, those no's. But what most people do is they're in step 4 and they say, oh, I was told no. So you know what? I'm going to give up on this. This mustn't be God's way. That's nothing to do with God's way. The Father does the work on what you're asking for, what you're praying for. And so, am I praying for, oh, this isn't for me? Or, oh, look at this, no? Or am I allowing it, saying, oh man, I'm on my path? I love when people say no to me, because I know that means I'm getting closer to yes. Dr. K on Friday used an example of the light bulb, and was over 1,000 times. Dr. K, do you have that information handy?
Well, yeah, Thomas Edison worked at making the first light bulb, and he used different materials for the filaments. And he had 1,100 experiments to gather the right filament. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden he did. And he created the first light bulb. And one of the reporters asked him, you had, what kept you going? You had 1,100 times you failed. And he says, I didn't fail one time. I found 1,100 ways it wouldn't work. So he just kept going and kept going and kept going.
Yeah, isn't that inspiring? Yeah, and that's really where, and Elon Musk has a story of, him almost going bankrupt and took all of his, and money and everything. And it was like the last shot. And, it's this contrast that you just keep going. We're going to keep on going. We're going to build our dream machines now. We're going to be all in. We're going to play big. And the only thing, Robin, that you said, I'm working on, stop doing that. I'm playing on this. Yeah, it's way more fun, right? It raises your vibration right away. Hell, I don't want to work on anything ever again. And I don't. But I do lots of playing. Oh, I love that playing. And that is just so fun. I saw just originally Deborah, Crystal was back, but I think the baby was crying again or whatever. And I don't think she's on. anymore. But anyway, she's kind of back, and she's one of our original family members. And so welcome back to her. But yeah, isn't that exciting that we can have anything that we want? And all we need to do is start allowing it, believing it. The other one, step 4 is what I call ABE, allow it. So we talked about that, but believe it. And believe in what? Believe in God. And a great question to ask yourself is, do you think God could build your business? Do you think God could make you happy, healthy, whatever? Well, hopefully you all agree that, well, hell yeah, God can, build my business or bring me as many people as I want, or have my health, or build my relationships, or whatever. Yeah. So who's in the way? Oh, okay. So I'm going to believe in God. So I'm going to allow it. I'm going to believe in God, and I'm going to expect it. So it's coming. It's coming now. I just love that jet's coming. And just have fun with that. I love the idea of flying around in a jet. But you'll never be flying around in a jet if you don't fix your dream machine, which you did, Carolyn. And you say, hey, I was disallowing this. I was laughing at myself that I couldn't do that. I made an image and likeness of God. I can do whatever I want to do. And it's a co-creative process. I do the asking out of the contrast, Father does the work, and then I allow it in.
Doctor,
Yeah.
Faith is something that we all must live through and in and on. And faith is, I call it the ABCs. It's an action based upon belief, sustained by sure confidence that God is going to do all the work.
Yeah.
So the ABCs of faith.
Beautiful. Can you say that again?
Faith is an action based upon belief, sustained by sure confidence that God is going to do all the work.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that confidence, that's a key one. Most people are not confident. The reason why we beliefs that, we were told as children, the children should be seen and not, heard, or seen and not heard. That, we've got to watch this guy. I remember there was an important client of my dad's, and he built this guy up. Oh, when he's around, you got to be this way. And what it was actually telling me is, I'm just a little piece of doo-doo here, This is the big important person. And I'll never be that way. And psychologically, I didn't realize that all of those things were happening to where we don't have confidence. But now, what do? We ask for it. I want to be confident. I want to be doing that what I want. I'm not going to let anybody from now on impact me, what they say, that I don't want, on what they say, no circumstance, no nothing. I don't care if nobody shows up at my, clinic. I don't care if anybody shows up at my comedy, my stand-up comedy, that I'm going to be all in. I'm all in. I'm going to play it big. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Woo. Yeah. All right.
Just one thing. So when you have that kind of attitude and thinking and belief, like you just said, you're definitely raising your vibration to the next level.
There you go. And so to understand vibration, so there's wanted and there's unwanted. Vibration can also be in, say, emotion, where my emotion is, and it all comes from our thoughts. And so the highest vibration you can be at is with God, love, empowerment, appreciation. That's the top level. The lowest level, so I help people that right now I'm helping somebody that they've considered committing suicide because they think, this just isn't playing out for me. And you can turn around anything. And this guy has turned around. But he's at the bottom of the emotional scale, and that's disempowerment. That's fear. Okay. And worry and doubt and complaining. And at the halfway mark, is, are you attracting what you want or attracting what you don't want? The more wanted thoughts you have, good feeling thoughts, why you should ask every day, I want to have good feeling thoughts, is it'll raise your vibration. Well, what's the big deal about raising your vibration? Well, if you raise your vibration, you raise, as Jason was talking about, your point of attraction. So I get to start attracting more of what I want, not more of what I don't want. And so, and this guy, by the way, down here, one that Susan, he was totally disconnected from God as higher power. But actually, you never can be totally disconnected, but he was about as far as you could get. And now he's becoming more and more connected. And the reason why we want anything in this world is we want to feel good, because that's where God is in joy. So at that top level is also joy. And so that's why we want anything that you want. It's actually to help you feel better. So, and if I go and market myself as I'll make you feel better, nobody will pay for that. Okay, because they don't get it. They don't get, when you feel better, you'll have it all. And the reason why is when you're up here, that you're in a pure state of allowing, and you're at one walking with God, and then the heavens part. And everything that you have asked for will come to you easily and quickly, in perfect timing, perfect portions. That good?
Thank you, Dr. Hank.
Yeah, you bet. Okay, everybody. Hey, we got a few minutes left, and so why don't we go within? And we come the Trinity, our mind, body, and our spirit. And kind of the practical way of understanding spirit is our feelings, because God communicates to us through our feelings. When we feel bad, we're not on our path. We're not thinking about this the way God is. When we feel good, we are. That on the other hand, with our feelings, our emotions, our spirit, we communicate with God through our thought, creates these emotions, and these emotions then go to God. And that's a perfect communication system, because our emotions is the exact way that we really feel about anything that we want to be, do, have, whatever. And so our mind, body, and spirit, they're all connected. So when I'm thinking in wanted, that it's good for my body. And so we're going to focus a little today on our body, because when your body, and we're doing it, with our thoughts, with our mind, with our body, that you will actually then also be, and this is where the meek, this is where, and I never understood that word, the meek shall inherit the earth. For you to have the world, it's for you to have within, the kingdom within you. As Christ said, that whereas God is within you. And so with that, let's just close our eyes. It's easier to go in and not believe that reality is what we're facing. Reality is what we're thinking and we're feeling. And let's breathe in deeply. And breathe out. And breathe in. And as you breathe out, just say to yourself, relax. And continue to breathe in deeply, 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. And we're going to start at the top of our body, top of our head, and what's called the crown. The crown is the I understand on the chakras. And so I understand, and just take the top of your head, your crown, and open it up and allow divine intelligence and love to just start pouring in you and through you. And breathe in. And just become more and more relaxed. Go to your forehead. It's the chakra of the third eye. and this is I see. And so let us have our third eye now, see our bright future, see our dreams now coming true. As we just relax now, relax your jaw, relax your eyes, relax your neck, and go to your throat chakra. And your throat is I talk. And I speak truth, I speak love out of my throat. And I just love on how I'm so relaxed. My shoulders are relaxed now. And I go down, relaxing my body, relaxing my chest, and I go to my heart. And I relax my heart, and my heart is I love. And each one of us are just pure love. When the committees have been let go and quieted as they are now, that what shines brightest out of all of us is our love, the essence of who we are and who God is, pure, pure love. And now go down to your solar plexus, kind of in between your ribs there. And this is the I do. And this is where we only do inspiring things, as we just relax now. Relax our solar plexus, relax our stomach. And now we go just below the sacral, and that's where I feel. And actually the gut, where we say, oh, I had this gut feeling. This is God's communication with us. It's perfect communication. And that we all are feeling human beings. And we ask now to feel better. We ask for better feeling thoughts as we flow into this ease, into this meekness, into the love of who we are, the magnificent creators of who we are. And now we go down to our tailbone, our root, and this is the I am. And so each one of us, I am, and whatever you say, you become. And I am happy. I am joyous. I am free. I'm lovingly powerful. And just flow down relaxation down your hips now, down your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, down your feet. Feeling so relaxed, so at ease, so happy, so content. And knowing that this is just the divine, perfect moment for all of us to be together with God and all that is, at one, in love with each other and our Creator. And now we go to the kingdom within us. Go down into our soul, where this is the eye of the storm. This is where you can always find happiness and peace, contentment. You can always find all the love that you've ever sought after. It's right here within you. Always has been and always will be. Just enjoy this moment with your Creator. Just start feeling your mind starting to illuminate these good feeling thoughts. Feel your heart just open up even wider now. Our heart now opens up to each other, and we send each other love and well-being. We send our loved ones love and well-being. We send the world love and well-being. And we are now okay within us. And when we open up our eyes, it will see that the world is now okay. For when we're okay, the world is okay. And for this truth and this understanding, and for this vibrant energy and this oneness we feel with God and ourselves and each other, and we give such thanks for this. We feel so good. We feel so excited. We feel so amazed at having our dream machine fixed now, of us thinking big, wanted, of us being all in, of us keeping on going, know that it's all part of the path to our dreams, to our happiness, to our oneness with all that is. And as we sit in our peacefulness, in our oneness, that we give thanks. And we now float gently back into our chair, wiggling our fingers, wiggling our toes. And on the count of one, we'll open up our eyes and feel so refreshed, so renewed, so excited about our amazing lives and our dreams. More and more of them are coming true now. We love dreaming big. We love dreaming and knowing that our dreams now come true. And number 3, and it's the 3 from the Trinity. And our mind, our body, our spirit is at one, at peace, in love. We are just standing in the midst of love now, and 2, and it's ourselves with God and all that is, as we come together as one. And one, we open up our eyes and welcome this beautiful life, this amazing life with our dreams coming true now. And so it is. It's so delightful being with all you divine beings. I love you so. We are off to the best week ever. It's going to be fun with more smiles and laughter, more of the things that we want, just flowing so gracefully and easily as we're in a pure state of allowing. And now our sing-along. Are you ready to do a little singing? Are you ready to call in your inner child and act like kids just to have fun? And we've invited our hearts in. We've
invited our hearts in.
Now it's time for our dreams to begin. Now
it's time for our dreams to begin.
We are now leading with heart. We are
now leading with
heart. And this is how to live life smart.
And this is how to live life smart.
Sound off our Master Heart family.
Sound
off our Master Heart family.
Sound off our Master Heart family. Sing it.
Sound off our Master Heart family.
And last one. Sound off our Master Heart family.
Sound off Master Heart family.
And yes, Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
All right, everybody. Love you. Just a glorious time. Thanks for everybody's input and love, and felt the presence of each and every one of you. And just know that your week is off to a start like no other start before. Woo-hoo!